tonight I had an interesting conversation with Kisomo Ntonga and Sherry. I'm not going to embarrass myself by pronouncing it, but yeah, she's Kenyan and Kisomo is Malawian. Both of them have this similar story where they're teaching people, they have teaching programs in programming and ICT related stuff, but they're teaching people with only one laptop. Sherry has taught about 13 kids, and Chisomo has taught about 30 girls using one computer. And it's a very good story. It's a very, very interesting thing. I think it's an incredible thing that they're doing. They're really making good strides. So I will not bore you with all the details that they will already tell you. Just go ahead and listen. Don't forget to share it with your network and also subscribe, like. Here's the thing. I talked to so I have you guys. I'm sure you don't know each other or whatever.
Yeah.
You do the proper introductions yourself, but I'll just sum up what you guys do. So Kari
Mm-hmm.
is here, is a student, but she's also an advocate for women, a very good one, take
Aww.
enthusiast. This educator. So a few days or weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
we talked, where she briefly told me about what she was doing. She was teaching people, a lot of people, using one laptop. And then a few days ago, I just came across Sherry's post that she was featured in one of the newspapers that are in her country. That she was also doing something similar to that. She was teaching people using only one laptop, and I feel like that's, if it's not being a superhero, I don't know what reason is. But yeah, and the most funny thing or important thing about all this, one thing that you guys have in common, not only are you dedicated to teaching these people, but both of you are also engaged with other things. For instance, both of you are still students as it is, because Sherry is um gone, but she's also a student. She's back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a bit about Cherry and about you, Chisomo. I just wanted to have a chat, really. I really want to understand. It's so impressive, and I just love juicy stories. I want you to tell me, like, what happened? What, it's just really amazing. So I think right now you can just introduce yourselves to Heather and to me too.
Sorry. Sherry, are you talking? Or I should go first?
Sherry, she was talking, but her mic is mute.
Hi,
But it's fine, it happens.
Nice.
because muted. So my name is Sherry Obare. I'm currently in my second year
Your voice
doing
is
computer
low.
science. Sorry. I'm saying my name is Sherry Obare. I'm currently a second year student at Chuka University in Kenya. I'm doing computer science and I am so passionate about cybersecurity, and I'm also passionate about things to do with women in tech. Yes, because of we are few ladies by the way in tech, so I just love associating myself with ladies in tech. And I'm so happy to be here and I'm looking forward to our conversation tonight. Yes,
That's
All
so
right.
beautiful.
Thank you, Sherry. My name is Chisomo Karis Ndonga. I'm a computer. Oh, sorry. I always make it. I am an accounts and finance student. Surprisingly, yes. However,
mm-hmm.
I love tech more. I should have been in the tech space, but I think, yeah, anyway. As already introduced by Innocentia, I have a program that I teach girls and women ICT. Basically, it's programming, um, social engineering, which is basically cybersecurity as well, um, basics of ICT in general. So it's really a great experience getting to hear from Shelly. She told me about you. She was very excited. I was very excited. So I was really looking forward to this chat. So nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too, Chisomo.
I mean,
So
you
I
didn't
forgot
Thank
really
to
blame me
actually,
for it. You forgot what?
yeah, I'm saying I forgot to introduce the program. I forgot
Yes,
to
you
introduce
did.
the program that I'd started. It's called
Yes.
Kisii County Kids Can Code. So here in Kenya, we
Oh.
have 47 counties, and my home county is called Kisii. So that's why I called it
Mhm.
Kisii County, and because I was teaching kids, so it was Kisii County Kids Can Code, and it's a program that
Yes.
I started last year in April. Immediately I finished my high school. I finished the
Mhm.
exams on 1st April, and a week later I began the program. So yeah, it was really fun teaching those children. And also here in school, I'm the She Code Africa lead of my school. So yes, I basically deal with ladies here in school in that space.
That's very
That's
interesting.
incredible. Yes.
Hmm. Now I'm curious. You started like soon after school, after you finished your exams, and then you started teaching the children. What really inspired you to start doing that, and like what motivated you really? Yeah.
Okay, so here our education system, our high school system is 4 years. So when I was in my third year, because I was teaching kids,
Your mic is mute.
I'll always forget to unmute myself. I'm saying here in Kenya, our education system, we have 4 years of high school. So when I was in my second year, let's just say in Form 2, how we call it here, I got into the robotics team of my school. And one thing
Oh,
that
nice.
I learned from those who were already there, they did so well and they went to represent Kenya in the US. So when they came back,
Oh.
they told us of how they were competing with small kids from those developed countries. I mean, those kids had built big robots and they were there with their small robots. So I asked myself, so even children can do tech. It just fascinated me because some of those kids ended up outsmart, outsmarting our team. So I was like, okay, here in Kenya, maybe I can do it in my rural area because when I went to high school, I didn't know anything about tech. I just knew there was computer studies and nothing more. So when I joined high school, that's when I started realizing about tech. So I was like, okay, I came to high school not knowing about tech. What about that child in rural areas? How will he get to know about it?
Yeah.
So that's how I, yeah, that's what really motivated me. Like, I know some of these kids are so smart, so bright with ideas, but they are not exposed. Like they don't have people who guide them. So I decided to at least introduce them so that as they grow, when kids only know about the so-called traditional courses like medicine, engineering, law, but in the rural areas they don't know about tech. They'll just say, I want to grow up and become a pilot, want to grow up and become a doctor. So that's
A
something I
nurse,
really
a
wanted to
teacher.
show. Yeah, yeah. So I wanted them at least to grow knowing that they can use whichever small ideas they have to make a difference using technology. So the motto of the program was making a difference using technology. Yes.
Nice. Wow. Right now, I don't even know what to say because it's really very thoughtful of you to see that you were still a child back then yourself, but you were still thinking about other people, other children, say they could um, achieve something or learn something and make use of it. That's, I don't think that there are like a lot of people that actually think like that, and it's so heartwarming to feel that there are other people who like just consider other people's success like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
because at that point you thought of it like, okay, I'm not a child that was going to be competing with other people, but then there are like other people that could benefit from these things. If I know these things, at least I can just pass it on to someone else who doesn't really have the exposure to some of these things. I would say that's really impressive. I feel like I've used impressive for so long, but but anyway, that's all right. Now, Caris, how did you start? How did you get to think? No, I feel like I have to start now teaching other people, children, like these things. What happened?
First of all, you can hear me?
Yeah.
First of all, listening to the story Sherry was
yes,
just telling us now, I can see so many similarities to my journey here. You know, a lot of similarities, and just shows you that we're not living in parallel universes. The problems are there, and they're in different parts of this continent. So basically, for me, you know how we keep saying, oh, a lot of girls don't participate in technology. Oh, a lot of girls don't like ICT. We actually like uh, playing with those words, but sometimes we don't actually know the impact, like the actual truth behind it, like the statistics behind it. So at a certain point, I think it was in 2018, I made a decision that I want to do a research. Like, I want full proof that actually girls don't participate in ICT. So I went to the Ministry of Education asking for permission for research on barriers that prevent girls from participating in ICT subjects in Malawi specifically. So I was given the permission. From there, I went around schools in Blantyre, speaking to girls. First of all, I was asking them if they know ICT, computer, if they've used a computer, if they own a computer, what are the perspective about computer. For those who learn ICT, what are their experiences? So basically something like that. And um, for the girls that actually do learn ICT, they were not interested in the subject. It's like they were just learning because it's part of the curriculum, but they don't like it. Like that's probably 95% of the girls, they never liked ICT. They would give all these excuses, but at the end of the day, they just had no interest. Okay. And for the girls who went to schools that have no ICT, most of them, they'd never even heard of a computer before. Like, they would ask me, what is a computer? What does it look like? and then I had to explain what a computer is, what ICT is. So from that research, I think it inspired me that I think I really want to do something. Now I know girls don't participate in ICT, and there are barriers for
Mhm.
girls in participating in ICT. I have the proof now. So what do I do?
Mhm.
So from there, I talked to a few people to do maybe like a project on that, but I think no one believed in it as much as I did. So
Mhm.
I think like down the line, I thought, I can't just keep waiting for people to help me or do these things with people. I started myself. I went to do the research myself. No one told me to do that. So it doesn't make sense for me to sit around and wait so someone can hand me resources so I should start this. It's my passion. It's my heart that needs to start. So I looked around and I was like, what do I have? So I was like, okay, I have this, I have that. Okay, I can start. I always call it the works of my heart because it's a pure heart work. I know Shirley knows what I'm talking about. It's a pure work of your heart because you just put
Yeah,
yourself out there. It takes a lot of your heart. More than anything, it's your heart. So, yeah, that's basically my journey. I started with 10 girls for the first cohort. Then when I was doing the second cohort, a lot of women came up to me and they're like, we also want these skills. But I was like, no, it's a girls program. They were like, no way. We really need these skills. Don't leave us
mhm,
out. Some of us got married young. We didn't get the chance to finish school. Others are doing nothing at home. I'm sure these skills can help us. So can you please just like set up a class for us? We can put aside Friday. We can just come here on Fridays, please. So after like a lot of discussions, I decided, okay, fine. Because I told them my challenge is I have one laptop. And for the second cohort, I've already enrolled 10 girls, so I cannot accommodate you again. So I just had to like do 2 different days. So the women were coming on Fridays and the girls were coming on Saturdays. So basically, so far, I've taught about 20 girls and 10 women with one laptop. So I think that's great progress.
Wow. Wait. So during this time that you were
well,
doing this,
that's
was it
um,
continuous or was it you were taking a break after each cohort? And at that time, were you just staying home? Was this your main thing that you were doing? Like, were you just waiting for the times to, or you had other things that you were doing, and then you're just creating your own time to be talking to these women?
During the program, like teaching time, okay,
Yes.
I'm still a student, so
Hmm.
I only have time during my holidays to do this program. So when I close for my holidays, which is about
mhm,
2 months, I have to divide, I have to work as well over the holiday. So basically, I work Mondays to Fridays, half days. Friday afternoon, I have the women's class. Saturdays, I have the girls' class. So basically, my whole holiday, I work and teach. I come back to school and I'm already tired.
Wow.
I always start the semester very tired, but it's
I
always
know.
worth it.
Wow. Wow. Guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's what I can just say right now. But I would like to hear from you, Sherry. I think you did mention how many girls you started with, and I think for you, Harris,
But
you only did like 2 cohorts, or were they more after like the
No,
one that? Okay, so like
no,
2
just two
cohorts.
cohorts. Yeah.
Okay. So what about you, Sherry? How many girls did you have? And yeah.
okay, so for me, I was dealing with kids. So they were both girls and boys. Um, I had 13 students. The youngest was 9 years old, and the eldest was 14 years old. So I mentioned I started immediately after my high school. So you know that time the schools here were closed. because our exams were being marked because they were national exams. So when the exams are marked here, schools are closed because they use schools for like the sessions. So I had more time with them because they went back to school, I think, in the second week of May. So I had the whole of April and till somewhere May to have sessions with them, which was kind of easy. You see, I had just finished high school. I'm just there. So we'd meet every day from Monday to Friday. Just like Chisovo, I also had only one laptop that time, and I'd charge it from home because yeah, because where we used to meet, that room didn't have electricity. Actually, I approached my home church pastor and I asked him to give us a room in church. Our church is under construction, so we used to meet in a room somewhere. So I'd come early in the morning. We'd learn till where my laptop shuts off. That's where learning stops. But the kids were so happy. I remember anytime I was late, I'd find them waiting for me at the road. They'd be like, "Teacher," they used to call me teacher. They'd be like, "Teacher, we were wondering when you are not coming." So um and that really motivated me. You see, I'd wake up really early because I didn't want to keep them waiting. So I introduced they didn't know what a laptop is. Some of them had never touched. So I had to start from the basics, tell them, okay, this is a laptop, these are parts of the laptop, and all that. And then I introduced them to Office. So I taught them how to use Microsoft Word. You know, when you show a kid how to make shapes and then fill it with the colors and all that, and also in typing when they change fonts, the font colors, it made them feel good. They'd be like, "Wow, so this is it," and yeah, so all that they used to look forward to every day. And when they opened school, now we had to meet on weekends. So we'd meet on Saturdays after they were our Sunday school they were Sunday school kids, but some of them traveled. They used to come from other places. And we'd meet on Saturdays in the afternoon again till my laptop shuts down. That's when we'd stop. But I'm so happy because they learned. I remember I gave them a test one time, and you see they had to do it in bits so that everyone could do because there were 14 of them, and they scored well. They did well, but unfortunately, can you still hear me? Yes,
Yes,
I can
yes,
see you
yes.
there. Unfortunately, at around June last year, my laptop got spoiled.
Oh.
Yes. So I know. So just one evening, I tried opening it. It's not opening. No, it started with some keys. So I try pressing enter, it's not working. Backspace, it's not working. The space bar, it's not working. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I try restarting it. It's not restarting, and that's how I lost it. So when I went to repair it, I was told you need to buy a new keyboard. You need a new battery. You need. I was like, wow,
Oh.
all this. So so
That's
they
like just
when we
telling you
calculated the
indirectly
cost,
that you need a new laptop.
yeah. And unfortunately that time I couldn't get a new laptop. So I stayed like that. So that's how actually the program ended, because that September that's when I joined university. And my university is far away from home. It's very far. It's um almost 13 hours from where I am to home.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes, it's that fun. And even when I joined university, you see, I didn't have a laptop, yet I came to do a computer related course. So I, so ironical. Yeah. So the whole of my first semester from September to December, we were still figuring out how to get a new laptop, but um we decided to work with what was there because the cost of getting a new laptop again is not that cheap.
Yeah.
So my parents bought me an external keyboard because some keys were not working. And for the battery, I'd use my laptop while it's plugged in.
So how was it working when you said you were in
Yes, I'd use
a
my
building with
laptop
no
while it
electricity?
was plugged in. So I got, I can't hear you.
No, I was asking that you mentioned something like
You were
you were
asking
using
a
your laptop
question. I
when
lost
it
you.
was you
Yes.
were saying that you were only using your laptop when it's plugged in. So I was asking how were you progressing when you were teaching the kids in a room with no electricity? Or this was just you had just already left the program and then you were in school at this time? I'm curious. Sherry, are you still there?
I think she has a jam. I don't see her moving.
Mm, that's a very, very interesting story.
It's like telling my own story, right? Have you?
Exactly, because you mentioned that she went to her church and so, and I'm like, oh my god, are you guys twins or what?
I think
Because
it's like she's telling my story on my behalf. The whole she got me when she said about the laptop. I was like, yep.
um, hi
Sorry, I
Sherry,
got lost.
it's all right.
Yes,
It's all right. You can go
it's
on.
raining over
Continue.
here. It makes the internet kinda unstable.
Oh,
Makes sense.
You were asking a
That's all
question
right.
before I left.
Oh yeah, I was asking
Uh-huh. What were you
how was
asking?
it possible for you to continue with the program when you said for you to use your laptop, you were supposed to be it was supposed to be plugged in, but the building that you were using to teach the children was it didn't have electricity. So how did you manage to navigate through all this?
So, as mentioned earlier, I joined campus in September, and my school is really far away from home, really far away. It's almost a 13-hour drive from here to home. So, since I joined university, I've not gone home. By the way, I've never gone home. It's 1 year since I was home, so I've not got, yeah. It's been 1 year since I left home and I've not gone back there. But I have a new laptop right now. So when I'll have my next long holiday, you know, our education system is such a way that we learn for 2 semesters and then go for a long holiday for like 4 months. So I'm hoping that when I go for long holiday next year from May, I'll have time with them till August because I'll have to come back to school in September. So I think I'll go back to see those kids and pick up from where I left. My initial plan was to teach them Scratch programming. You know, it's really fun to introduce it to kids. scratch programming is really fun. So that's what I had started on before my laptop got destroyed. So at least I'll go back and pick up from where I left.
That's interesting. Um, do you know that your story is almost exactly like Gisomo's? I'll leave her to tell you her story. She will just have to tell you her story right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
very true. Like it's a no, when you're narrating the story, I was like, yep, that's definitely my story. Cause that's exactly what happened to me, you know?
wow.
Yeah, like the
Mhm.
classroom that I
Uh-huh.
teach is just like a small space behind my house, like a shelter behind my house.
Wow.
So we don't have like okay, I just had light put in, but I don't have like a socket where I can plug in and charge my laptop. So I pre-charge my laptop in the house. And then when the kids come, I mean the girls come, they're not kids. The girls come, that means they'll have to use a pre-charged until the battery runs out. So basically it started with 4 hours, then eventually 3 hours, then came to 2 hours. So you can imagine that 10 girls, I just had to like time manage each one of them so they can use the laptop before the 2 hours run out.
Yeah.
Then it
Yeah.
came to 1 hour, you get, and then so we're like, okay, 1 hour, what are we going to do in an hour with a laptop? So I'll maybe have like 2 or 3 girls use it for 1 hour. I go inside the house, charge it, teach them something else while it's charging, go back in the house, get the laptop, give girls for like a 30 minutes, then also take it back in the house. It was exhausting, but definitely
Yeah.
worth it. And eventually the laptop died. I mean, the battery died.
Mm-hmm.
So I had called for cohort 3, which was supposed to start. My last holiday was in, I think, what month is this? I think my last holiday was in July. So that's when the third cohort was supposed to start. So I had called the girls, registered them. It's when I realized that my battery has died. I can't use it anymore. So I had to cancel the cohort because obviously I can't afford a laptop. Not even right now. I can't afford it. I won't even
Yeah.
lie. I can't afford a laptop right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I going to do? If I had like some sort of socket in the small shelter of ours, I would have just been using like direct power, but it's not possible as well. So that's how my program ended. I hope it's not an end, but at the moment, that's
Yeah.
how it ended. So my story
No,
is like
Our
almost
stories,
exactly like yours.
I know our stories are so similar because
Exactly.
actually I know I had I just told myself, let me just go to school when I'll get a new laptop and when I'll come back home, maybe I'll continue. So I really
Exactly.
got to start thinking about it like 2 weeks ago when I was
Hmm.
featured in that magazine. You know, I wore that T-shirt. I was invited to speak in a certain awarding ceremony.
Yeah.
Some students were being awarded for writing essays. It's something I also participated in high school. So I was called as an alumni. So I wore that T-shirt, and everyone was like, "Wow, what's this about?" You know, when I was doing it, it didn't really seem that big, but when you explain it to people, it sounds like something so
Yeah.
big. So I know, and then a journalist
because it's so
approached
big,
me after the
guys.
meeting.
No, I get what she means
So
though.
a
You know,
journalist
it's so easy
approached
to feel
me and said,
small.
yeah, it feels so small. I mean, I was just teaching them how to use a laptop, but when you explain it to some people, it seems just a big thing. So when it was
Yes.
featured in the magazine, everyone was like, "Wow!" That's when it really hit me. Oh, so I did something. At least I gave back to
Yeah.
the community. At least
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I think
Ah, interesting. I
at least
mean,
we
I
felt
understand you
included.
guys when you say you kind of feel small about it, but when I even saw the featured magazine on the group, I was there like, oh wow, I need to talk to this person. I need to just and immediately I went into her private DMs, and then I
Yes.
was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I want to talk to you. I want to hear your story. You have to tell me everything about it. From there, and then I went straight to you. So I was like, you know what? I found a mini you, or I don't know. It's not even. And right now, I see that it's not even a mini you. It's just a you. You guys are just so
I,
similar and yet
yeah.
different.
That's
It's so
true. Yeah.
it's so amazing to watch. But I'm very curious. How were you guys like delivering these sessions that we're having? Were you like having the laptop with you and then just gather the girls or children to say today we're learning say PowerPoint, or we're going to learn how to use Microsoft Word, and then maybe you just bring them together and then you just show them like this is how you do, or were you like giving them time to for them to be using them individually? How are you delivering the sessions really? I'm curious.
Okay, for me, it was two approaches. First, it was theory first because there's so many aspects of technology that they have to know theory wise. So I would probably do like a 1 hour or maybe 30 minutes theory explaining concepts in ICT, concepts in programming, concepts in cybersecurity, and then the next session would be practicals. So 10 girls, mostly it would depend on what they're learning. They start with Office, obviously. They'll do Microsoft Word, Publisher. First of all, they all had to learn how to design a calendar. So everyone in my class had to have a calendar and they had to get it printed.
Wow.
So yeah, like that's the first output of the class. You design a calendar, you output it. And then eventually they moved to Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, a bit of it, and then you get into programming. So for the Microsoft Word and everything else, I'll probably group them maybe 3-3 or maybe 4-3-3, because it's a much easier thing. But for programming, because I wished all of them to have time to work on the computer, so I would put them in 5 groups, which would rotate every week, so they shouldn't get comfortable. So there'll be two girls. So each one of them, maybe they would just do like, I'll give them a code, maybe like a whole sheet of code, and they would do it in segments. Because one person or two people can't do like a whole website at once. That's impossible.
Yeah.
So before they
Yeah.
start the programming, I would explain the code to them. This code does this, 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 this. This code does this, this, this. You'll be responsible for this. You'll be responsible for this. So the output product would be like a collective effort of all the girls. So at the end of the program, they have to like produce a website, but it's not like one person did it. It was progressively done throughout the weeks of the program. So I think basically,
Wow.
and I had a lot of assessments. They were doing a lot of assessments. Every week I would have 10 minutes assessment. What do you remember about last week? What have you learned
Mm,
so far in the last 3 weeks? So I had to like, since the girls that don't own computers or they don't go to school that learn computers, so they had to be like continuously updated. I can't just jump into something new. Like I had to like continuously remind them what they're learning throughout the program. And also because most of these girls are like completely underprivileged, most of them. So my program, what I do, I give out free notebooks, a free like writing materials basically. So
Nice.
everyone when they come into class, they have to have their materials with them because I know that maybe others buying materials will be a challenge. So that's one aspect of the program that I would just give it to them for free. If they like, they'll leave it with me. If they like, they'll take it home so they can go through it throughout the week. So I think basically that has been the approach. Before the end of the program, they all write exams. Everyone, they all
Nice.
have
Ah,
like they write exams. So they just don't
Nice.
graduate. They have to write exams. If someone didn't do well, they'll have to rewrite the exam until they get it
mm-hmm.
right. So the exam is basically all what they've learned, like theory, and they also have to do practical bits of everything they've learned throughout the program. So
That's so
basically, I
amazing.
think that's the approach.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So, what programming
That's
languages were you teaching them in?
HTML mostly, a bit of CSS, and a bit of JavaScript, like the minimalist of JavaScript, but mostly was
Hmm.
HTML.
Hmm.
nice.
That that's really amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank
Wow.
you.
So, what about you, Sherry? What was the approach like? How were you delivering the presentation?
Okay, so when I started, of course, um, we had, I can say we had one armchair. I'm sure you know how an armchair looks like, and two benches. So the armchair would serve like our table because remember the room we
Secret.
were using was basically like a storage room for those people who were constructing. The church was totally under construction. There was nowhere else we could do it from. So they could surround that armchair so that they could all see my screen. And when I started, I had prepared some slides on PowerPoint, and then I got support from my church pastor. He bought the kids books and pens because I don't know what I could have done because I mean I couldn't ask them to go buy the books because it would have been another story. So he bought the books and the pens for them, and I'm the one who used to keep them because if I allow them to go home with them, they'll definitely come the following day with no book. So we, yeah, that's true. They'll go play with it, and
Yeah, I mean,
these
they're
things
kids.
happen. So and I still have the books, by the way. I'm still in process with the books. So they could surround, if there's anything I really wanted them to write, I'll dictate them. Because remember, these are small children in the rural areas. They, some of them are struggling with pronunciation. Like you tell them to write something, they're like, how is it written? So I had to spell for them because in the rural area they are taught using vernacular in some schools. So when you teach them in English, they're like, okay, what are you saying? So but I made sure I did more practical because again, engaging small children, their concentration time span is really small. So I made sure it was more practical than theory. The first thing I did, even before introducing them to Word, I installed the typing software. So, when you type, it guides you. So I tell them just follow what's on the screen, and then you see at the end of it, you're given your percent. And when they'll get 100%, you'll see them so happy, and that really kept them going. Because if someone scored some less, like no one wanted to do badly, so they'd all aim at 100%. And then when we started Word, of course, it was I'd show them practically. I'll tell them, okay, you type. This is where you change the font. This is where you increase the font. This is how you change the color, the background, the watermark, and then I'll give them. And then because they type really slowly, I used to give them like three sentences each so that everyone gets to type before the laptop gets off. So I'd make sure everyone has done it before the laptop goes off. And in case it didn't, then maybe we can do something else. But mostly, I used to show them and then they could do it by themselves. Yeah, that's the approach that I use. And yes, just like Chisomo, I also gave them a test. Of course, not theory because I know they would have. So it was
Yeah,
a
they
practice.
can't.
I know they wouldn't have managed. So I gave
Yeah,
them
that's
a them a paragraph in Word after they learned how to use it. I just gave them a paragraph, told them do this, do that, and then I I assessed them and they all passed and I was so happy because there's a concept that I hadn't taught them and some two children managed when you're typing, let's say when you want to write centimeter cube, that's how do we call it when you receive something superscript and subscript. Yes, that's the word. So I hadn't taught them how to put it, so I wanted to try and see like how smart they can be to use the that star, the ribbon there. And two of them managed, and I was so proud of them because I mean,
Nice.
they did it by themselves and they got it. So at least I saw some potential in them and I saw how they were really looking forward to learn, just that the laptop decided it would cut it short, but shall pick it up from there.
Wow,
Yes,
that is a very amazing story. Right now, I just feel like meeting all these children, girls, all these people that you guys were teaching because I feel like you were having like a lot of a fulfilling experience. It's not
yeah, that's
just
true.
now I
yeah,
do understand
yeah,
when you say
right,
it's about the heart because you would just look at them being doing something
yeah,
that you would normally think it's not that hard, or just it's just typing as you're putting it. It's just HTML. But then all their faces, they just feel like I could, it was just I don't know. Anyway, can you just tell me because right now I'm invested. I want to know more.
Yeah,
Can
that's
you tell
very true.
mhm.
share me any success stories, more success stories from or memorable moment from teaching these children, these girls, these women? Like what is something that is still stuck with you till date?
Okay, I can start off. So, dealing with children, dealing with children again is not easy. They can decide to disturb, but one of the things that I noticed from those kids immediately we started the program, they became so disciplined. These are the kids that we used to fellowship in the same church with. So I know them. I know how naughty they can be. But when we started the program, I mean, they all became disciplined because I remember when we used to take breaks because we can't stay on the screen every time. We I used to teach them songs, so we'd sing and then we'd present
Yeah.
on Sundays during the service. So it actually became so it helped us even grow spiritually. You get
That's so
um so
sweet.
it
Yeah.
No, please don't tell me that you're gone now, your network. But that's
No,
so sweet.
yeah, a lot. Oh, kids are amazing.
Hmm. Sherry,
I think she's working on getting back.
please come back. You were just telling me a
A very
heartwarming
sweet story.
story. Ah.
Aw,
Oh, no.
aw, she's gone.
Hmm.
That was like
I
a
should
very
join.
lovely story.
Right? Right? And then it's like she was also teaching them not only computer, but also just Behavior, good
Yes,
behavior.
like a lot of
Mhm.
things. They're learning a lot of things. I'm so invested in her story.
I know.
Oh, she's back.
Yuri, please continue the story. I'm still here waiting for the story. Oh no. I think she's still having trouble with the network. Oh, now
Okay, she's
she's
back.
Yes, I'm back. So I was saying it became a norm in church, and as I told you, these are children that are used in speaking vernacular. So I started teaching them songs in English and Kiswahili to also improve their communication in English and Kiswahili. And I could see a really huge progress because we could sing English songs, Kiswahili songs every Sunday
yeah.
with new dancing styles and songs, and people are like, "Wow!" So we present every Sunday, and it boosts their I know it boosts their confidence. Again, standing in front of many people is not it's not something that everyone can do, but we used to do it, and it also helps me improve my communication skills. Remember, I'm just from high school. They called me teacher. We expect someone called teacher, someone who's gone to campus, finished the training and all that. But I'm here.
Yes, yes.
I hadn't even turned. No, I was 18 that time because I turned 19 in August. So I'm here just from high school. I've never taught. I didn't even have a formula of teaching them. But anyway, we managed and we did it so well. And also another thing that I got so impressed about that kept me motivated is the progress in terms of the skills they gained. Like by the end of where we reached, all of them knew how to use Word. Like everything I had taught them, they could do. If you gave them, let's say a paragraph, they knew how to edit text and also format a page. And I had all their folders, and every day when I felt like, okay, today I'm not feeling so well, I'll just look at their work and I'll just find energy. You understand? Like it was so impressive that you just get energy. So that's something that really makes me happy till today. Those are some of the unforgettable memories. Yes, I think that's it from my
Wow.
end.
Wow. Those stories are really beautiful and oh my god. Anyway, let's hear from you. So what are some of the memorable stories that you have? You
Okay,
guys really enjoy when you're doing these things.
my most memorable would be, I feel like my last cohort, um the girls come to class and you've started teaching just to realize that they don't understand what you say because they're not very good with English.
Yeah.
And then now you're there thinking, how am I supposed to teach computer in the local language?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to find ways because the girls I hear that interested, they walked long distances, over an hour distance just to come to class. I can't tell them go back because you can't understand English. So I had to turn into an English teacher slash ICT teacher. and and eventually, as time went by, it was so surprising that when I say a particular English word and I'm about to translate, and the girls would be like, "No, we understood you. We know what that means."
Oh, so
So it was
sweet.
really amazing to see 3 weeks into the program and the girls' vocabulary is good, And this one girl walked up to
Nice.
me and she was like, thank you so much for what you're doing for me because, in class I never used to answer questions. When my teacher asked me something, I never had the confidence to answer. My friends would laugh at me. But since I started coming to computer class, I have this confidence, you know. I have knowledge that no one in my class has. So I feel like I have the most beautiful opportunity to be anyone I can be, anyone I can want to be, you know. I never had that confidence. I always thought that I don't have a future. You know, when my friends laugh at me, I just go like, yeah, I don't know English. I probably don't won't go anywhere far in my life. But you know, with ICT, I am very confident. Even my teachers are surprised, and I tell them that I learned ICT now. And even my teachers are like, we haven't even ever learned ICT in our lives. You're so lucky that you're learning ICT. But basically, I just love the fact that I was not just teaching these girls ICT, but they were gaining confidence throughout the program. You know, like it's like I was giving them wings that you can actually fly, like you can fly as high as you can want to do. So I feel like that aspect of confidence building is very important to us girls. You know, we face a lot of challenges, and if a girl does not have confidence, it's hard for her to go further in her life. But when you have the confidence, you know that you can conquer anything that comes your way. So the most beautiful and memorable aspect of the program is that. And also, I told you about it. I think I've shared with you a story about the girl who was selling sweet potatoes in the market. So another aspect of our program is we had this sisterhood. You know, I always tell these girls, you are my sisters. I'm not your teacher. You are my sisters. I'm your big sister. So when we're here, we have to be open. You know, I
Okay,
know
go
there's
ahead.
they yes, like I would tell them that you if you want to talk about something, this is a safe space. You know, I'm sure you will never find a safer space than this. You're surrounded by your sisters, and I'm here. I've been through a lot as a girl as well. So I think every class would have at least a 5-10 minutes chat time. So one of our chat time is when I found out that one of our students is actually not in school. She actually sells sweet potatoes in the market. And that's when I was like, how did you end up selling sweet potatoes in the market? And then she narrates the story. You know, she could not afford to go to school and everything. But when she heard about the ICT class, she was like, this is the best education I'll ever get in my life. And when she came to class, she gave it her all. You know, if I could show you the grades of this girl, you'd be impressed, and you wouldn't even imagine that this girl has been out of school for such a long time. So the most memorable part of it was also being a part of this girl's journey, going back to school, and like empowering her with ICT skills. So yeah, there are a lot of them. You know, they keep coming to my mind, but I think at the top of my head, that's what I can share.
Mm.
Wow.
Honestly, guys, I know it's so sweet. So I don't know. How do you manage to just listen? Because I don't really think I can survive, right? Because I'll just be there, standing, feeling sorry for
A
them,
lot of
and
tears, definitely a lot of tears, but you have to be strong because
Yeah,
girls
honestly,
really
yeah,
need our
yeah.
help. There are a lot of girls going through a lot of things out there, and I really wish there could still be more done for these girls. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's something
Mm-hmm.
beyond ICT out there, definitely beyond
honestly,
ICT.
mm, I understand, and it's a good thing that you already started because the most difficult thing is starting. Honestly,
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so um. And then with that, do you have any plans for expanding the program or picking up from where it stopped or maybe collaborating with other educators? Like how you guys are here, are you planning on, because if that was me, I would definitely want to collaborate or at least try something. So do you guys have other plans? I shouldn't put the thoughts in your I will definitely do that, but before that, do you already have the plans or what were your goals? Like, were you just planning on just leaving them? Because I hear sure you're saying that you were going to go back to when you go back home, you're going to pick it up from where where you left. Are you thinking of expanding the program to say maybe not only children but also maybe other say big girls, or are you planning on collaborating with other educators? Because I understand it can be a little harder to just be
Yeah,
yourself and um,
yeah,
teaching all these skills, because taking from zero, guys, I know what I might not know exactly how it is in this context, but I know a little bit about teaching other people from zero knowledge to at least much better somewhere. So
hmm.
tell me.
Okay, so for me, uh, I can say when I was doing this program, I I didn't really think of going outside. You know, I really wanted to start from home. They say charity begins at home. But once I finish with remember I had just introduced them to Scratch programming, and we had done only 2 lessons. So once we finish with that, and call it the first cohort, and then maybe again, it's this success stories that can bring people, like they'll be like, okay, if so and so managed to do, then even my kid can do, because remember I was dealing with children. So yes, I'm really looking forward to making it bigger and bigger with the time. And maybe I forgot to mention, when I was still in high school, when I was in my final year, that is in Form 4, I printed the T-shirt while I was still in school. I already had that vision. I told myself, when I go home, I'll have to start this in whichever way. So there was some teacher who used to do some branding in school, like he'd brand T-shirts and all that. So I asked him, how much can you make me this T-shirt? And I made it. Like immediately I talked to I couldn't wait. I just couldn't wait. So I chose the color and the logo and the motto, and it was branded. So when I got home, I just told my mom, I told her, you see this T-shirt, this is what I'm going to do. This is the program I'm going to start. I don't know how. And then that Saturday, she came for me on a Saturday after the exam. So Sunday I went to church, and I talked to my church pastor, and I was like, I'd like to start with the Sunday school kids. I won't go outside looking for kids. There are kids here in church. And that Wednesday, in fact, a week didn't even end. I remember I just went for the midweek fellowship now that I was just at home. And that's when he was like, okay, here are your kids. Because they also came, when schools are closed, people just find things to do. So the kids who were there, I was like, okay, Sherry, here are your students. Go and shine. That's how I started. But I'm really hoping and trusting that it will grow bigger so that I could reach many other children out there, especially in the rural areas, so that they can also have the expose to tech. And yes, about collaborating, I'm really looking forward to coming to your country, at least meet you guys in person. And I'd be so glad if you guys also came here so that you see Kenya. So it will be a really great opportunity, just like that. You just find yourself in another country just to see how things are done. And I'm really looking forward, to be honest. When we were even talking, I was just imagining myself, maybe you're in the airport. I've never gone outside our country, by the way, but I was just trying to imagine that when I'll be in the airport and be telling people, bye bye, I'm going to Malawi to meet my friends, and we do some tech stuff. But they say they say things begin when you visualize them. So I've already visualized the journey. I hope it comes to pass. I really hope. Yeah,
Well, I also do hope for that, and I look forward to it. Look forward to it, and I'm sure that you're going to
Definitely.
make it. You come here and you find us, and
Definitely.
you also have now you have to also visualize me and yourself actually coming to the airport, meeting you
Exactly.
around.
Definitely.
Yeah.
yeah. It will be really awesome. I mean, if you just think of it,
Yes.
just yeah, it seems to be fun. Yeah.
Thing. I like that. I like that. What about you, Someone?
Yes,
Do you have any plans
definitely.
of
I have
expanding?
thoughts of expanding out there because we need more girls with these skills. So
Yeah.
definitely plan of expanding. Hopefully one day I can have a hub. We can have a hub, not I. We can have a hub. Yeah, I think that hub at least can take girls like more of like cascading the knowledge, continuous knowledge. It should not limit it in one place. You know, at least when you have like a central hub, you can be open to a lot of girls, maybe closer to their communities as well. As I said, most girls had to walk like 1 hour, 30 minutes just to come to my place for the lessons. So I would wish for like a hub somewhere closer to the communities because these are rural communities that really need the skills. So it would be very beneficial to like set up a hub somewhere close to their communities, you know. That's how you can have like more like an outreach program. So definitely plans of expanding are there, definitely. Once I get a laptop, that's the first step.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I know what you mean.
And definitely,
So
Sherry, I see myself coming there as well. Definitely, I was thinking about it the whole time, and it is coming.
Really.
We'll make sure of it.
as
Yes,
for me, I'm
yes.
just here picturing myself in front of these two amazing ladies, and I'm just here not just watching but also learning whatever you guys are teaching, and then I just say like
Mhm.
amazement. It's just really it's just really brilliant, you know. So yeah, but we'll definitely meet. At this point, we can't really know for sure where we're going to go first, who is going to visit who first, but we will get
In
there. We
time,
will.
we know.
Yeah,
In time.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
sure. But there is one thing, since both of you have expressed your interest in expanding and still going forward with the program. What kind of impact do you hope to achieve with this work, like in the long run, like long term goals that you have for the program? What impact do you really hope to make?
Okay, for me, on my side, as I already said, this program started because of the research, right? So it was more like inspired by those statistics. If you check into universities these days, most girls don't choose computer science programs or ICT related programs. So I feel like for us to bridge this gender gap in technology, it starts with the girls. It's the root where we have to start from. The root means it has to start from actually getting girls to choose ICT or computer science programs
Mhm.
when it gets the time for them to choose university programs. So the program basically it's just like a collective effort that many people out there doing, including Sherry herself, including you, trying to get more women into the tech space. So I think this program basically the impact will be grooming girls, more girls, as many girls as we can groom into taking up these technology related courses. And I think Sherry also mentioned earlier that she find um is it you were saying that girls choosing like teaching courses, nursing. Was it you were saying that?
Yeah,
Yeah, during like
Yes.
my
yeah, I
research,
say,
during my research,
yeah.
girls would probably just choose teaching, nursing. Oh, I want to be a bank manager. All these courses, and they are
Mhm,
good
mhm,
choices. Definitely very good choices. But we're
mhm.
living in a digital world, you know. Someone
Yeah,
who does not have
exactly.
any digital literacy, definitely that person cannot participate in this modern society. So it's not just
Mhm,
about telling the girls, go choose computer science programs, go choose ICT programs.
mhm.
No, it's grooming them that even if they don't choose ICT, wherever they go, wherever be a nurse or doctor, they will make a difference using technology. So
Yeah.
basically, it's just telling girls that whatever you choose, ICT will make a difference. So let me show you how ICT can make a difference. So
Mhm,
basically, that's
mhm.
the impact, that's the thought process behind all this, and definitely cascading of knowledge, you know, because I can only teach 10 girls at a cohort. So when I teach 10 girls, I tell them, okay, you are 10 of you in this program. Each of you has to teach 10 girls. You have
Yeah,
friends, go and teach them. You have your mothers, you have your
yeah.
aunties, go and teach them because I cannot reach to them. So basically the
Mhm,
impact also is more of cascading the knowledge that these girls are being impacted. It's more like being ICT champions. So they can also like make an
mhm,
impact in their own societies where obviously I cannot reach because of my limit of resources. So
mhm.
it's definitely a collective effort.
Nice, nice.
Wow, really nice. Well, I don't
I
have any more
know,
questions
right?
on that or anything to add. I'm just here like, wow, that's really nice. That's
Mm,
amazing.
Thank you.
yeah.
What about you, Sherry?
I think she answered.
She did. Hmm. And she's gone. Whatever
I've
is
learned a
happening.
lot from Sherry. Like I've learned so much from her. Like she's
Yeah.
incredible.
Right?
She's very
Hey.
amazing.
Okay, so
And
for
she's
me,
oh, she's back. We're just talking about you.
sorry, sorry, I my mother just called. She wanted to check up on me. So,
Okay.
or for me, I was saying, there was recently a competition that was held for high school students, and there's this solution they gave that, I mean, it was an awesome one. The way someone washes their clothes, then you hang them, and then you go somewhere, and then unfortunately it rains. So all your clothes will be rained on, and maybe you don't have clothes for the whole week. So they using IoT, Internet of Things, they came up with a smart hanging line. So I think they set up something like a weather station that reads the weather, maybe the humidity. So when it reaches a certain temperature, the hanging line will move to the shade. So the clothes won't be rained on. You see, it's such a simple thing yet complex. I mean, it's such a great solution. So for me, my long term goals are to, just as our motto says, making a difference using technology. So mine is to show them how they can use technology, implement the solutions that they have, because we've got challenges in the society, and we are in the digital world. So you have to connect the two, how to bring up the solutions to the challenges that we are facing. So, and when I was selected as the She Code Africa lead, it's been I don't know, I've never felt this passionate for ladies, and everything I do, I mean, it's just about ladies here in school, until my classmates were calling me a feminist in quotes. They're like, Shay, you always just mention about ladies, ladies, ladies. I'm like, look at look at us. We are 150 students taking computer science, yet the ladies are at most 20 of them. I mean, why wouldn't I advocate for more women to come to the tech space? So that's something that I see myself also incorporating with, dealing with children and also ladies in tech, because um, we are really few. People think it's only supposed to be done by men. So since I got the position, I have been telling my friends here in school and just people around my school about the importance of being in tech, especially as a lady. So for the past few events that have been organized by the school, I have been encouraging ladies to attend until our presence has started being felt. You know, I'm being asked, okay,
Mm.
Sherry, why is your number almost? You know, they are not used to seeing ladies in such meetings. Maybe you could see one or two in such meetings. But for the past three events that the school has organized, some guys came to me and they're like, Sherry, what are you doing? What are you telling these ladies? I mean, we are feeling the presence of ladies. I'm like, never mind, you won't understand. You're just girls in tech and we're here to dominate. I know, and I'm so happy about it because you see, when you see progress, it also motivates you. When they turn up for these
Mm.
events, I also feel encouraged to also motivate them even more. And it's just I just came to realize they felt intimidated because by our male counterparts, you know, because them they can meet and do stuff. They are many, they can help each other. So
Yeah.
when you go out to compete with them in hackathons, ladies used to feel like they don't know nothing. So I told them, okay, let's do this. We'll also group ourselves and gain
Mm.
these skills because we also have to dominate in this field. We are few, but we
Exactly.
have to dominate. So I've seen it work. I feel so encouraged by the progress here in school. So for my bigger picture for this program is to also do a ladies campaign, something like that, like to have more ladies join tech. And I feel like the best place
Nice.
to root that is in high schools. You know, in high school, that's where someone starts thinking, okay, I'm almost joining university. Which courses are there to do? They end up
Yeah.
doing the traditional courses you are talking about, yet they can venture into space because I also really wanted to do medicine. I wanted to be a doctor, but things changed when I got exposed to technology when I was in Form 2. That's how my gaze shift to technology. So it means if I was not exposed, then right now I could either be doing nursing or any other course that's not tech related. So also something I was thinking about, just doing this campaign and telling them you are a lady, yes, tech is for you. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That is very nice. What you
Incredible.
guys are doing is very, very good job. And maybe people don't tell you enough or you don't tell yourselves enough, but you're doing a very good job and the world could use like a lot of people like you.
Oh,
You're
thank
making a very
you.
big impact, and I
You.
really like your goals for the long term that you're also including the underrepresented gender, which is women. Um, I just love everything that you're doing. It's really incredible. I shouldn't really add on that because you've already said everything. But honestly, I think I'm going to write an article about it. I should. But yes, that. But there's one thing that I have noticed, or yeah, you know how you ladies didn't even know each other before this call, and but then you are doing similar things, almost exactly things,
Yeah.
and also even your goals, you're still having the same
Yeah,
things in mind, which means that there are also
Mm,
other people out there who are also doing the same thing or who would want to do the
definitely.
same thing. But then they have, like you said, you're having your problems. You encountered a lot of problems with the language. I know you cannot be teaching programming in like your vernacular. You cannot be telling someone HTML or div or whatever it is that you guys were doing. Your other engineer says in the local languages you have to start from elsewhere. Now it's like you had a plan to do A, but with the circumstances, you were forced to go to B or C, and then you're working in circles or you're just going around something until you achieve your goal. And I'm sure that there could be someone out there who just by looking at the whole process they are giving up or they feel like it's too hard for them. What advice would you actually give those people to say, maybe just advising them?
okay. There's one thing that has always motivated me, and there's this um okay, it's something like a quote I can say. It says challenges can never alter the course of the goals we've all set for our lives. I'll repeat. Challenges can never alter the course of the goals we've all set for our lives. It means no matter what challenges come to like crosses your path, they should not alter your goals. They should not make you feel discouraged because some of these challenges come to strengthen us. I mean, life cannot be a bed of roses. It won't be, we won't be strong as we should. I think that's why we face these challenges to strengthen us. So, from my experience of having one laptop, it got destroyed. Coming to school, doing computer science without a laptop for my first semester, using it the way it was for my second semester till August. I mean, I couldn't have dropped out of school because I don't have a laptop. That would have again wasted my time because I'll still have to come back to school and start from where I left. I can't stop teaching those children because I have one laptop. I mean, just use what you have. You don't have to start with brand new things. Start with what you have. I couldn't say, okay, this room does not have a socket. I don't want it because how will my laptop charge if it goes off? We just use what you have, the time that you have, because um, time lost is never recovered. So I'd advise anyone who wants to start or is almost giving up, don't give challenges strengthen us. That's always what motivates me. And use what you have. The small thing that you have can make a very, 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 very big difference. Yes. So you don't need to start big. Just start small as you grow. One step at a time, and we shall get there. That's what is keeping us motivated, if I can say. Yes, that's from me.
I must say I'm even motivated right now. I'm
Aw.
actually yeah, but thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Anytime.
For me, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear.
I think I said it earlier that this is the work of my heart. I think I mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
when I started this, I put it in my heart. I was like, you know what? No matter what, I'm going to do this. Because if I set it on my mind, I'll change it, definitely. I'm going to change my mind.
yeah,
But I just put it upon my heart that whatever comes, I'm going to do this. Like what Sherry just said, she's exactly what I said. And I also told a lot of people that use what you have and start from where you are.
Mhm,
That's all.
mhm,
Don't think
mhm,
too far. Don't think 10 years later. Don't think 5 years later. Think now. What can I do? What do I have? Where can I start from? I feel like that's the most important thing because you can see other tech ladies, they have very big resources, they're getting
yeah,
funding, they're doing all these things, but don't set your mind on that. Don't set your mind on that. Just be you, be different, know why you started, and let that be the set of whatever you're going to do. I think that would work. But if you focus too much on what is out there, definitely you lose it. Because I've seen there are people who have big institutions doing a program like mine. They have hundreds of computers, you know. So it's so easy to feel like I'm not really making a difference. But you actually are because um, if you even see the impact is much more different than having like all those resources because what you're doing is, for example, Sherry, I really like relate with her so much because she's teaching out of passion. When you don't have
yeah,
resources, you're teaching out of passion. It's pure passion.
true.
So
Mm.
I think that's the most important thing I can say. I don't know if it makes sense, but I hope
Does
it does.
actually.
It does. It does make sense.
Hmm. That's really beautiful piece of advice. Which, like I said, like I told Cherry, I've also been motivated right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think these were the questions that I had. I think right now I do understand you guys because, like I said, this was just a call for me to understand like your
Mm.
thought process, this. So I'm really glad that you guys agreed to this call. But I'm still going to give you guys a chance to maybe because I've just been the one asking the questions on this step. I don't know, maybe I'm just the only curious one, but I would like to believe that I'm not. And if you guys have questions for each other, and yeah, you can always do that now. You can ask each other. Or if not, then that's fine as well.
Um,
Chisomo, you talked about cybersecurity.
yeah.
Is it a field that you've done? Is it a field that you've majored in, or how far? Because I'm also into cybersecurity, and of course, I'm always glad to talk to people in the same field.
I really actually am planning to do more in cybersecurity. Like I never knew it is my passion until recently because I always talk
Wow.
about I never knew it, but now that I realize it, I'm like, yeah, because I always talk to my family, my friends, don't get scammed on the internet, don't do this, don't do that, don't pick strange calls, don't send money where you don't know. So I didn't realize that I was actually being an
Yeah,
advocate of cybersecurity. So the reason why I
yeah.
also teach the girls cybersecurity is like, a lot of girls are getting into trouble because of the internet. Strange men talking to them. Others have found themselves in strange places. So I always incorporate cybersecurity just to keep the girls safe while they're using the internet, while using their phones. So yeah, if you're really into cybersecurity, I really need help. Like I think I should get into it ASAP. But yeah,
You're
definitely.
much welcome. Um, just like we've noticed, our our stories are actually similar, if I can say,
Yes,
because
you can.
I got to know about cybersecurity when I was in high school. But
Yeah,
there's a difference between knowing something and actually doing something.
yeah.
So, because I had issues with my laptop, as I told you, till this year, when I went home for my long holiday, that's when I started learning about cybersecurity. So my journey has
Mm-hmm.
been, so many things have happened within this short period, until people think that I'm a guru in cybersecurity. You know, when I came back to school, the GDSC, I know, right? I, I, I was I was given the role of being the GDSC cybersecurity lead. And so
Mm-hmm.
when you lead people, I mean, you can't just lead them blindly. You need to do something.
Yes, that's
That's
true. You need to
something
know.
else that really motivates me, you know, because someone will just approach and they're like, okay, you are in charge of cybersecurity. I don't know where to start from. Can you help me? Or they want you to answer this and that. So you need to have content for you to answer some of these questions. So if you're interested, then you're really welcome. It's a really interesting field.
Yeah, I really have to learn more about it.
Okay. We'll
For
journey
me,
Um,
together, hearing this together.
yes, I feel like Sherry, she's giving me so much information that I really need to like process it. It's like it's amazing to learn someone who has she's like telling my story on my behalf. You like that's incredible.
I know,
You know, I
right?
never knew that I could find someone who has an almost same thought process like me. Like we're like entwined in some way and it's incredible. Like honestly, for me, I just want to say thank you. You know, thank you for speaking out and just telling your beautiful story. I'm so inspired. You have no idea. And definitely, I'm not the same. I'm really not the same before this call. Like something in me has changed, and I'm so grateful for you. Definitely grateful.
Wow.
hmm, beautiful. Anyways, so
Thank you so much.
thank you
I
very
also
much,
feel
both of
so
you.
motivated. I mean,
Now go on, Cherry.
oh, I was just saying, I feel so motivated. I mean, this call has just turned out to be the best. Having such talks really ignites some fire, that keeps you
Yeah,
going. So thank you so
yeah,
much for organizing this. It's been, yes, and again, finding someone that you're doing similar things, you're not even in the same country, not even in the same time zone. I mean, it means
yes,
people out there are really doing amazing things, just that you've not gotten to know them. But
yeah,
I thank God we've met, and that's how friendship
definitely.
starts and grow. And
Mhm.
yeah, we just make a difference together using technology as we advocate.
Yes.
Boy, ladies in, yeah, that's what I wanted to say in essential.
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, thank you very much, both of you, for agreeing to speak to me, to tell me your beautiful stories, to inspire me. And well, I'm going to post this, I already told you, and I'm sure you're going to inspire other people too. And for the great
Definitely.
work that you're doing out there, thank you very much. Because one thing that I have noticed and learned and come to believe is that you guys are doing this out of your good heart, goodwill, and it's just your passion, just because you want to do it and not nothing else. And for that, I would like to thank you on behalf of all those people that you're impacting, and also on behalf of all the
Thank
communities that
you.
you are helping. In case you don't hear it oftenly, know
Thank
that
you.
um, is very proud of you and is so amazed by your works. And
Thank
you better
you.
believe that I'm going to stop talking to you guys. And yeah, just that. Um, so if there's anything else, I think we can talk later after this call.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's close here. which means Sherry's time is one.
Yeah.
One.
But other than that, thank you, girls, for your insights and your just your brilliant minds, and also agreeing to share your stories. I wish you all the best in executing these programs again, because, like you've told me, you're not going to stop here. You have further plans lined up, and I wish you the best in all those. If you need help, you can always reach out, um, just to talk, and see
Mhm.
how we can help each other.
Definitely,
Guys, have
yes.
a good
Okay.
night.
We in this
Yeah, sure.
together.
Most
Yes.
definitely.
Be
Sisterhood.
together.
It is. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you likewise. Bye, Sherry. Bye,
Bye.
Nastasia. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.